Hey guys, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Today we'll learn how to play Abracadabra by the Steve Miller Band. So this is a pretty easy one here. So we're going to start here in standard tuning. We have this simple little riff, which is heard a lot throughout the song. Open A string, then the C, the third fret on the A string, then the second fret on the D. All right, now just reverse those three notes. This is just the intro here, and then go back up. Now come and play a power chord here at the third fret on the low E string, then up to the fifth fret twice, and back down, and back up. You're gonna hear a little slide in there, and then back to the riff. All right, now we get to the actual verse of the song, which kind of just goes to a 1-4-5 progression, doing that same little lick. It starts the same way, but then you take everything down one string, so the exact same lick, just on those two strings now. Now move it to the low E string, and we're going to do one little note difference. Open E again, but the fourth fret instead of the third, to the second fret on the A string. So instead of like that, it's and then back to the first one. So we have this all together. Now that's the main riff that's heard pretty much through the verse and the chorus. Now throughout the song you'll hear a little trill that he'll do occasionally. That's the open G string, hammering onto the second fret, pulling back off, and just kind of repeating it. Alright, and then we get to the chorus, which has the same, pretty much, three parts. And they'll do it a couple times, and then they'll throw in that Hendrixy chord. So you hear that a few times in the song, and it's kind of a dissonant chord, so it sticks out. Now that is just basically the low E string, 7th fret on the A, 6th fret on the D, 7th on the G, and 8th on the B string. In fact, the entire chord progression, which another guitar player might play if you're playing with a second guitar player, while somebody's doing the licks, you can just, the chord progression is just A minor to D minor. To that E chord. You can do it down here, or just make it an E dominant 7th chord. So it's pretty much just three chords, you know, straight through until you get past the solo. Now for the solo, it's a lot of just kind of, you know, it's just a lot of noise, you know. So it's when in live he just kind of improvises a little solo there, but it's kind of be impossible to recreate that guitar solo. So we're just going to go to the part that comes after the solo, which is this little interlude where they go through this long sequence of chords, and it sounds like this. All right, so it's kind of the same chords up and down, so it's not going to be that hard to memorize. But let's start up here. The entire time you're going to have this open A string, and you're going to be playing these triads on the B, G, and D string. You're going to start here with a bar at the 15th fret. I'm sorry, the 17th fret. Then come down to the 15th. You're just barring across, by the way, the B, G, and the D. Then down to 15. I'm sorry, 15. You go 17 to 16. Sorry about that. Then 14. Then 12. Same chord shape. 10. 9. 7. 5. So to try to memorize all that, that's 17, 16, 14, 12, 10, 9, 7, 5, with that open A underneath it. And then we kind of mix it up a little bit. Play this G major chord here, which is the 3rd fret on the B, 4th on the G, 5th on the D, and then an A minor. Just stopping at the B string, of course. Alright, so those two chords were different chord shapes. Now we're going to go back to those same bar chords, but we're going to go to the 7th fret. We're going to skip to the one at the 7th, this D major one, and then work our way back up the exact same frets, just backwards. So 7, 9, 10, 12, up to 14. Now when we get to 14, this A major, start going back down, so you didn't go all the way up to the 17, through the same chords we went down before, including these last two, the G major and the A minor. Alright, and then we have a quick little outro sequence. There's a lot of effects going on, but before that you have a definitive guitar riff there, which sounds like this. Just kind of that repeated. So that's a quick little down up on the open A, and then 2 downstrokes. Let that ring and then play. Now I'm hybrid picking this, but you can just pick both strings if you want. It's 1st fret on the B, 2nd fret on the G, and move it up 2 frets, and then just back and forth with that little rhythm figure between each one. Alright, so that's about it for the song. It's a really pretty good one for a beginner level player. It helps you move around the fretboard a little bit with those little bar chords, but the actual main riff itself is quite simple to play. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.